I reckon Mrs M's gonna toss it in. The freak's giving her as hard a time as us.
I always thought water stuck together.
Screws do. Except when they're bent and running scared, and that is when they are most dangerous.
Why is Ferguson crook on Mrs Morris then?
'Cause she lagged on her.
I won't back away from you.
Haven't you been doing just that lately?
To a degree, I suppose I have. But it won't last. And in the end, you can bet I'll be waving you goodbye.
You already tried that, and it didn't work.
At the moment, you're manipulating the system. But sooner or later, you'll make a mistake.
Because of that lagging bitch, I've got to go back to WA. I thought you'd been inside before. Parkwoods, 2 murders, 1 a cop.
What's the difference in? One jail's same as the other.
Not in West Australia, it's not.
Over there, they still have the death penalty for killing cops.
Hell.
Do you know what you've done, Lawson? You've just put a noose around my neck. You hear that? I killed a cop. Oh, now, come on, cool it. They haven't invoked the death penalty in Western Australia for years.
They can change their mind any time they like.
I didn't know.
You stupid bitch. And you drunken slob. I'm gonna hang because of you.
Yeah, well, maybe if you'd come clean with us in the first place. Anyway, tell us about this cop you wasted. Was that during the robbery?
The robbery came later, after I got out of Parkwoods.
Oh, you're a right little charmer, aren't you, Carter?
It's not Carter. It's Mackenzie. Nola Mackenzie. And I had my reasons. I spent 20 years in a stinking little hole in Sydney with a drunken family that only sobered up long enough to draw their dole checks. When I ran off and married Eddie, I thought I was getting away from it all. Perth was so clean. For 10 years I stuck it out. But it was like bashing my head against a brick wall. He was a born loser right from the word go.
Yeah, well, we've all been through that.
Have you ever lived on the Nullarbor? There's nothing out there except lousy scrub and the trains going past. I used to stand on the veranda trying to keep the dust out of my eyes, watching the Indian Pacific go past. All those people going somewhere. And me, stuck in the middle of nowhere.
So why didn't you hop on a train and clear off?
What with? He kept me broke. He blew every cent we had on booze.
And so you blasted him?
Yeah. He was sitting there on the veranda cracking tinnies by the dozen. Stinking hot. He told me I stank. He laughed and called me a filthy slag. So I got his rifle and I just kept firing. Then I got into the truck and cleared off. Tried to get away.
How far did you get?
Not far enough. Eddie's best mate was the local copper. Oh, he was a real pig. He got on the radio to Perth and then he came after me. It took 3 shots to finish him.
You don't do things by halves, do you?
I thought I could be something. Go somewhere. Next thing I know, I'm in the slammer with a death penalty over me head. Well, I thought I was entitled to some life. So I busted out. I did a bank over. Hopped on a goods train. And for the first time in my life, I was on my way. And now this. Oh, yes. I've got a lot to thank you for.
Meg, would you prepare the reclassification reports, please?
Yes. And will you get a social worker in here? We need someone to relate to the women.
Yes, I know. I'll approach the department.
Great. We should get him round about the turn of the century. We need someone now.
What's got into you?
I have had Joan Ferguson right up to here, and she is not going to push me out, not until I am ready to go.
No, well, I should hope not. You're a damn good officer.
I'm beginning to wonder what a good officer is. I really am. Why don't you tell me?
Well, efficiency, dedication.
Compassion?
I guess so.
Well, it sickens me to see what Joan Ferguson's doing here. And she's convincing you and Erica that the women have no rights at all.
I beg your pardon, but that isn't true.
Isn't it? Well, get a social worker in here. It'll knock the bottom right out of her dirty little schemes.
Yes, all right. I said I'd approach the department, and I shall. Well, OK, Slugger. Get back to your corner. Round 2 should be a Lulu.
And she bawled her eyes out. And then they said, well, we're not bringing her anymore because it's sort of upsetting her.
Well, at least she saw a few times.
You know, that Nola's really got it in for you and Paddy, hasn't she? I wouldn't want to be in your shoes.
Well, you don't have to be, so quit moaning.
I still have to share a cell with her, don't I? I don't want to take it out on me. She's crook on you for nicking her money.
Look, I needed that money to get my kids back.
Now, look, you leave off. You haven't been here long enough to pass judgments on people.
So I've got to learn the system somehow, don't I? I thought there were rules among cons.
I'm not saying what she did was right, but you'd do anything to get your kids back. I know, I've been there.
All right. Well, what about Paddy then? One pinches dough from another crim and the other one lags to the cops. Even I know that's not on. So what are you going to do about that?
Why don't you butt out, Trixie? No one agrees with what Paddy did. But Hazel was going to take the rap for that robbery. And as for Nola's cash, she was pretty dumb to leave it lying around the halfway house. But if anyone takes on either of them, they'll have me to answer to. Do you understand?
Sure. It's not my problem anyhow.
I wish you'd minded your own business. You know you have the devil's own job keeping them away from you.
What are you doing?
Sorting things out. People dump stuff off here all the time, so I sort it, I mend it, I launder it, I hang it on the racks.
God, it's filthy.
That's okay, I've had me shots.
You'd need them around here.
Oh, a lot of people are grateful for this stuff, Fran.
I suppose so.
Well, sometimes we even get good quality items, but we've struck out this time.
Judy, how long are you going to keep this up?
What, working at the house? As long as I can, why?
Well, surely you could do better than this.
I'm an ex-con, Fran. That means that the cards are stacked against me.
Yeah, but there must be something, anything.
I don't want to do anything else. I really enjoy my work here. God, sometimes I can help people break drug habits, and I help them get the pension, a job, even a little dignity. Oh, I know sometimes people come through here on a downhill skid, but usually I can help.
Yeah, but look at this place.
Well, so what? I'm able to help people here. Do you have any idea what that means to me?
Of course.
For the first time in my life, Fran, I feel good about myself.
How long do you reckon you got before they take you back?
I don't know. I've got to play for time.
Is this supposed to be running a show around here? How come she's letting Paddy off with lagging? Don't seem right to me. I mean, she's going to be getting out of here, and you're going back to Western Australia and...
Shut up! Nobody gets away with anything. How much did my old man and that copper get away with?
Oh, nothing. You fixed them both.
Right. I fix everyone who crosses me, and don't you forget it.
Hey, steady on. I'm on your side, remember?
Good. You'll sleep better that way.
All right, come on, up and at 'em. We haven't got all day.
I feel like I've been run over by a truck.
When I get out, I'm going to get a night job and sleep every day till noon.
Yeah, you've only got 4 days, haven't you?
Yep. Can't come fast enough.
Yeah, for me either. Oh, not that I'm trying to get rid of you.
Oh, I know. Nola. Oh, don't worry, I'll stay out of her way.
You got a job lined up?
No. Don't fancy my chances either. I'm not trained at anything.
Ask the screws to get a careers advisor in for you.
Any help?
It can be. Better than going it alone, anyway.
You know, I wouldn't mind seeing one of them
About what?
About a career, what do you think? I mean, honestly, it's been my trouble all the time, innit? I ain't never had a career. Just crummy old jobs. Barmaid, waitress and... Yeah, well, I'm fed up with it.
What did you have in mind?
Well, I don't know, do I? It's up to them. They're the experts. Let them tell me.
You're supposed to have some idea.
Yeah, well, all I want is Elizabeth, and when I get her back, I'm going to look after her with honest money this time.
Come on, you lot. I'm running out of patience.
Hoe-face obviously never had a careers advisor. Should have been a stormtrooper.
Little black Sambo has nothing on you, sis. These pancakes is delicious.
There's more batter left.
Oh, no, I couldn't.
You're slipping. When Mom used to make them, you could sit down to a 12-stack.
Yeah, well, she was trying to build me up, you know. It worked, too. Here, look, I'll do that. Eat. You know something, friend? Having you here is really nice. It's... Well, it's like,
A family?
Yeah.
We've had some bad times. Maybe more than our share. Family shouldn't be like that. Now all this business about Dad's will.
Well, money always screws things up.
Doesn't need to. You know, us contesting the will could drag on for years, and in the end you could wind up with nothing. Not even the family.
Hello. I have a feeling I'm not going to like this.
I'm not quite sure how to put it.
Try me.
Well, we've come up with a way to shortcut all the wrangling.
Go on.
If you give up your claim to the inheritance, we'll give you $10,000.
Yeah, I'll bet. In Confederate bills, huh?
Judy, there's
Oh, just shut up. Just shut up, will you? God, I must have been born yesterday. I didn't even feel that knife going in my back. You only came here to get Pop's money.
You can't believe that. I wanted to see you.
Yeah? Well, you're 20 years too late.
It's not too late, Judy. Hey, you could come back to the States. We'd all be together then.
Fran, if you only knew what that meant to me.
Pete, how do you reckon I'd go as an air hostess?
Come, Moffat. The last 2 hours you have been everything from a nurse's aide to a flaming trapeze artist.
Well, it's all right for you, innit? You've got a trade. I fancy myself as an hairdresser. I saw what you did to Maxine's hair. I reckon I could do that.
Hey, do a pick-up for us, will you? Oh, Mrs. Powell, listen, Patty here needs some career advice, and Chrissy is about to enter the world of business. So any chance of getting a careers advisor in here?
There'll be a social worker in here before your time's up. You can see him then, too. Since you already have a job, get on with it.
Can I go to the loo, please, Mrs. Powell?
Make it quick. Smith! I just told you to get on with your work.
She gets meaner by the minute, that one. What do you reckon she's made of?
Granite and bile and all things vile.
Oh, sorry about that. You're learning fast. Yeah, well, I got a good teacher, haven't I? Mackenzie. Yeah. Figure I might as well be on the winning side. You'll be all over the walls if you try that again. Just remember that.
Where's she headed?
Round to the loo, I guess.
Then follow her.
Oh, she's pretty tough.
Maybe you want to side with her.
No, of course not.
Then move.
Oh, hello. Yeah, that's quite a load you got there.
Yeah. Do you mind if I leave it here? You can check it through when you get a chance. I've got to get going.
Wait a minute.
I'm in a bit of a rush.
You're in a bit of a mess. What's the matter?
I don't know. I'm confused, that's all.
Do you want to talk about it?
I can't think straight.
Look, why don't you sign in? I'll take you through the staff room, get you a cup of coffee. I'll be in the staff room if you need me.
Get out of my way.
You in a hurry to get back to work?
I've got things to do.
Yeah, like lagging.
Just do your 14 days and stay out of it.
You can't stay out of things not in here. You know that.
Oh, stupid bitch. I told her to keep out of it. Now just stay out of my way.
Thanks to you, they're shipping me out of here soon. And I'm going to give you something to remember me by, Lager.
Oh, Paddy, love.
Oh, no, to guess who did this. Here, who else was in on it?
Trixie.
Oh, it didn't take long to find her feet, did it?
Oh, look, I could handle her. I just didn't stand a chance with Nola.
Don't worry, I'll deal with her.
Oh, leave it alone, Bea. It's happened now. It's over.
Like hell it's over. I'll be next.
Listen, take her down to sick bay, you and Jacko. Tell the screw she tripped on the stairs.
What am I going to do, Bea? Look, I've got enough
Oh,
problems
shut up,
as it is.
Hazel, will you? Don't worry, I won't let her touch you. The next person that lady's going to deal with is going to be me.
Thanks. So that's the whole crummy story. If I accept the 10,000 and forget about the will, it's welcome home Judy.
And if you don't?
I'm deader than a dodo.
Are you sure they're only interested in the money?
Well, I'd like to believe that they're not. My sister Frances has a mind like a cash register. The weird thing is, I'm half tempted to accept it.
But why? If they're trying to cheat you.
I don't know. I mean, I've got a family here, Laurie and Jeff. I'll be a grandmother soon. Maybe I just don't want to be lonely in my old age.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You have no idea the hurt that I had when my family treated me that way. I tried to hate them, but you can't go on hating. It gets you nowhere.
I know.
I've got nieces and nephews in the States I've never even seen. I don't want to go and live there, but I'd like to see everybody. I'd like them to accept me.
Judy, you've got a criminal record. It's highly unlikely you could go to America, even for a visit.
I never thought of that. I'll bet you one thing, Frances did. Still, I have got an American passport. I wouldn't be the only criminal to get in and out of the country.
Where am I? The staff room or Driscoll House?
Judy wasn't feeling very well.
Thanks, Mrs. Morris.
Help! Someone help us here!
Sounds like Chrissy.
You stay here, Bryant. It better be good. What's happened?
Well, what does it look like? She's been run over by a Batsy bus.
I'll get her to the hospital. You make sure Bryant gets back to reception.
Jude, how you going? You joined the
Bryant,
other side.
I told
have
you to stay inside. Now you two get back to the laundry and move it.
Well, didn't anyone get the number of the bus then?
I warned you that Paddy and Hazel were not to be heavied.
I don't hear too good.
Well, then maybe we should clean out your ears or give you a hole on the head.
Scrubs will be here any second.
As for you, miss, you've been here 5 minutes and already you're butting your nose in.
I didn't even touch her.
That's because Paddy got in first, so you just keep your nose clean.
I hand out me own favours.
Well, you're about to hand out your last one.
Like what?
Like telling the cops you were responsible for that robbery. A sort of farewell gesture.
Screw.
Right. I want to know who's responsible for putting Lawson into hospital. The longer it takes, the more points you lose.
I did.
Alone?
Do I look like I'd need help?
Right. The governor's office. Get out.
How come she opened up?
She's up to something.
Yeah, it wouldn't be to save our points.
They're going to sling her straight in the pound.
Then it takes that much longer for her to be shipped back to face the death sentence.
Do you reckon they'll really hang her?
Who knows? But I bet she's in no hurry to find out.
Well, let me know what you decide to do, Judy.
Yeah, well, if I get that far.
Can I help you?
Detective Inspector Lover, West Australia. Want to see Hazel Kent and Nola Mackenzie.
Right, just a moment, please.
Excuse me. I'm Judy Bryant. I run the halfway house where Hazel was staying.
Yes?
Well, I think you should know she couldn't commit that robbery.
You seem very certain of that.
I am. I mean, Hazel, she's drunk all the time. She can't get down the hallway, let alone to Western Australia.
Why would Kent make a false confession then?
Maybe she scares easily. But she's strictly small time. A bank robbery is not her style.
Everyone starts somewhere, Miss Bryant.
Yeah, well, I just wanted you to know that. I'll see you later, Mrs. Morris.
Goodbye, Judy. If you just sign in, I'll take you through to the interview room. The governor's finished with Mackenzie now.
As soon as the extradition papers are cleared, you're on your way home.
All because of those stupid bitches.
Now, what about this Kent? She didn't pull that robbery, did she? Come on, Nola, it's not like you to hold a grudge. Did she pull the job?
What do you think?
Haven't seen her yet.
She's a stupid drunk. Couldn't even pull a cork out of a plonk bottle.
You know, it might look a lot better for you if you admit to the truth. You're going to need all the pluses you can get.
They're going to hang me no matter what I do.
Then what have you got to lose? Think about it. Take away things.
Like you say, what have I got to lose? Okay. So I did it. How long does it take extradition papers to get through?
Sometimes just hours.
But I've got to finish my time in the pound before they take me, haven't I?
That's just a couple of days. They won't mind waiting. Can't stay in solitary all your life.
Thank you, Mrs. Morris.
When would the extradition hearing take place?
In a few days.
So you don't want to see Hazel Kent?
There's no need. If she's smart, she'll confess to taking the money from Mackenzie. If she's smarter, she'll admit that she made a false report to the police regarding the robbery.
But Hazel denied she admitted to the robbery.
And yet the police have a full confession.
I know, that's what I don't understand.
She must have forgotten. Or maybe she was drunk. I gather that's not unusual. It doesn't pay to make waves. Goodbye, Mrs. Morris.
Now, I know what you're going to say, Colleen.
Well, this is official, Meg, so don't get involved.
But Hazel was either tricked or coerced into that confession, and Lovell knows it.
All right. But Mackenzie has admitted to the robbery, so Kent can relax.
And so can the police, who railroaded her into it, if she doesn't fight it.
She won't fight it. God, she'd know better than to try.
Then they get away with it, then.
Think of it as a compromise. Oh, yeah, we know that's a very dirty word to you, but that's how it is. Come on, Meg, in this job you either bend a little or you break. And believe you me, our Joan would be more than happy to pick up your pieces.
Good afternoon, Barry Simmons. I have an appointment to see Mrs. Davis.
Barry!
Hello, Meg. Oh, don't tell me you're going to join the uniform brigade again.
Afraid so. What on earth are you doing here?
I'm the new social worker. Well, it's nothing permanent, sort of a tryout, you know, both ways. I'm not sure if I could stick the routine.
Well, believe me, you're badly needed here. I can't believe the department was so quick off the mark.
Well, it's so good to see you. Although I've got to say, I've seen you better dressed in the past.
Well, this is a bit establishment for you, as I remember.
I think I preferred it when you were a humble welfare worker and we both carried a torch for the oppressed.
Well, don't let this uniform fool you. Nothing else has changed. Come on, sign in. I'll take you through.
Sure.
Can I have a word with you when you're through with Mrs. Davidson?
Was something wrong?
I'll tell you later.
Gee, you look like you got done like a dinner.
Well, I never see anything interesting when I'm in the kitchen.
There was nothing to see.
Well, by the look of you,
Give her a
love.
rest, Lizzie.
Well, what's eating her?
It's Nola doing Paddy over. She's in solitary for it.
Gee, solitary will get her good and mad.
Nah, it'll only help to cool her down.
I wouldn't bet on that, Lizzie.
Oh, come on, knock it off, you lot. Nola may be tough, but she's not stupid. And she has been warned.
Well, that don't always work.
No, but at least it...
Well, is this a private party or can anyone join in?
Anyone, not anything.
What was that, Latham?
I didn't say nothing.
It isn't what I asked you when I came in.
I'm sorry.
You've lost your point for the day.
Oh, hang on, what reason?
For failing to answer my question. Oh, no, sir. Oh, not a pretty sight, but a distinct improvement. Your hands hurt too.
No.
Well, put them to work.
Your credentials seem fine, Mr. Simmons, but you do realise that your work in the prison will be far more confined than what you're used to.
Yes. To be honest, I am not altogether sure at this point how I'll fit in, Mrs. Davidson. You see, I prefer it on the streets. It's where I cut my teeth, and I find that a challenge.
I see you've done quite a lot of work with drug rehabilitation.
Well, I instigated a couple of new approaches to the problem, which are now in general use, yeah.
We're not averse to new ideas.
I hope not. My main concern is that these places have too many rules and regulations for me.
Necessary rules and regulations, I'm afraid.
Of course, I understand that.
As your appointment is only a temporary one, we'll keep everything on a casual basis. That way you'll be able to feel your own way in your own time.
It's fine by me.
Good. Now, 2 of the inmates have expressed a wish to see you. They're both due for release shortly and would like some advice on the employment prospects. Latham and Lawson.
It sounds like a law firm.
The only knowledge they have of the law is from the wrong side, I'm afraid. It won't be easy finding jobs for them, but that should be quite a challenge for you.
Yes, they've both got quite a record. Oh, well, nothing's impossible, Mrs. Davidson.
Looks better like this, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You feeling any better?
No, I'm not. On top of our little problems, 2 of the girls from the house here have ended up back in jail before they had time to scratch themselves. Police must be really impressed with me. This house is becoming a springboard straight back into jail.
What do you expect with the surroundings so bleak? No one can make a fresh start from this place. Driscoll House needs a facelift. A bit of paint, some fixing up. It needs some money spent on it.
Meaning?
Think what you could do with $10,000. I mean, you could have this place looking really great. And you know how good it would be for the girls' morale. You'd be just a sort of chump that'd spend it all on the house. Think about it, Judy. If we have to take the case to court, we can prove that Dad didn't know what he was doing. And do you think it's fair for us to wind up with nothing after looking after him for 25 years?
I don't know what to think, Fran. All I know is Dad left me his money. That's what he wanted. Now, if I had been there, we could have talked about it and sorted something out for all of us. I know that.
Life's not like that. You ought to know that by now, Judy.
Yeah, the best laid plans at mice and men, eh?
Well, if I were you, I'd take the money and make a new start for myself. If you do okay here, I guarantee the folks back home will find it easier to accept... Well,
my wicked past, huh?
I wasn't going to put it quite like that.
Yeah, I wish I hadn't. Fran, I would really love to be able to go home. I would love everyone to accept me. But I have to think about all this.
Well, just make sure you do. It is $10,000, Jude. It's not chicken feed.
Yeah, I know.
Milk and 1 sugar?
Perfect, thank you. Okay, so what's your problem?
It's Hazel Kent, one of the inmates. She's a bit of a sad case, really. Here for her 3rd or 4th sentence. She was brought in on suspicion of armed robbery in Western Australia. But we've since found out that the crime was committed by another inmate, Nola Mackenzie.
Well, so what's the problem? She's home free.
No, not quite. She's already confessed to stealing some of the proceeds of the robbery from Mackenzie, so she's still in trouble. But she could be in far more than she deserves.
Well, how come?
Well, just between us, Barry.
Sure.
She was verbaled by the interrogating officer. Now, if it comes to an inquiry, Hazel could stick too close to the truth for her own good.
Oh, come on, Meg. You can't ask me to ignore her verbally.
No. What I'm saying is that this could delay her release. Now, she needs to get out, and I'm trying to help her.
Okay, go on then.
Well, Detective Inspector Lovell's over from Western Australia. He's here to extradite Mackenzie for trial. Now, he knows the circumstances and is most anxious to avoid a rumpus.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Now, he says the best course of action for Hazel to take is to confess to the illegal possession of money, but to cover up the matter of the verballing. Now, I agree, but for Hazel's sake, and this is where you can help me.
How?
Well, regulations won't allow me to communicate with the prisoners.
But I can, right? Yeah.
Right. Now, what I want you to say is, and this is important, I want you to tell her to say that she made the initial false statement, not because of the verballing, but to protect herself from the other prisoners.
You can stop right there, Meg. I'm way ahead of you.
You mean you'll do it?
Of course. Now stop looking so worried.
Oh, Joan, this is Barry Simmons, Joan Ferguson. Barry's our new social worker.
Hello, Joan. Nice to meet you.
Likewise, Mr. Simmons.
Oh, please call me Barry. I can't stand formality.
Well, I had a rather old-fashioned upbringing, so you'll just have to endure my formality, Mr. Simmons.
Nah, Hey, you gotta
This is
put it...
called patience, because you're supposed to play it on your own without any advice from you.
Yeah, but I know how to play.
I was all set to blow the whistle on the cops, and now I don't know. That Simmons bloke reckons I'll be better off if I keep my mouth shut.
You've been verbal, love. You gotta dob 'em in.
No, do what the man says. If you claim you were verbal, they'll keep you in here for ages while they carry out their usual thorough investigation.
Yeah, thoroughly slow.
Yeah, Bee's right, love. It could take months and months.
Sounds like this bloke Simmons got his head screwed on the right way. Do what he says.
Oh, he ain't half a spunk, that Barry Simmons. Oh, he's gorgeous.
That time we had some real male talent in here to liven up our girlish charms.
The only thing that'd liven up my girlish charms is a bloody good smoke, and I haven't got any left. Hey, Chrissy. Oh, bum, you don't smoke either.
Here, Lizzie. Here you go, love. But look, when you get your own, you make sure you give it back, because I need it for trading, all right?
Your turn to see the social worker, Lawson.
Here. Tell him from me he can get social with me any time he wants. I'm a good worker when I get going.
Subtle as a sledgehammer, too.
This is Paddy Lawson. I'll wait outside.
Sit down. Barry Simmons. So, how you feeling?
Okay, I guess.
Looks to me like you've been through the wars.
Just fell down some stairs, that's all.
You could press charges against your attackers, you know.
You think I'm crazy? All I want to do is get out of here in one piece. Fast.
And you haven't got a job to go to?
No.
What sort of work have you done in the past?
I worked as a courier for a while. Look, I don't really care what I do, just so long as I don't have to stay in any closed-in spaces.
OK, I'll look around for you. Now, what about accommodation? Will you go back to Driscoll House?
It was trouble for me last time.
Well, at least it's a roof over your head and you've got to have somewhere to go.
Oh, yeah, suppose it'll be okay. Okay. You worked with cons before, have you?
Some. This is my first women's prison, though.
You ever done any, favours for them? Just little things.
Like what?
We're really short of fags. You reckon you could sneak some in? We'd pay you for them.
I can't see why not. Only if you'll promise to offer me one next time.
Oh, yeah. I reckon you'll fit in real fine.
Yeah, I hope so.
It doesn't go in there. It's got to have a green bit on it.
Oh, watch it. Well, to hell with it. It's a flipping waste of time, isn't it?
Oh, what should we do? All sit around and study to be brain surgeons? There you go.
Seriously, though, Bea. I reckon I should have something to look forward to when I leave this dump. I think I will fill them forms out for the vacational guidance.
Well, why not? Give you another private talk with Barry Simmons.
Yeah, he didn't half tickle my fancy, know what I mean?
Yeah, and you provide your own feather and all.
Oh, get off! Leave me alone.
Prisoners will at all times speak in a voice loud enough for the supervising officer to hear. There will be no plotting and planning when I'm around.
We're working on a jigsaw puzzle. Oh, in case you hadn't noticed.
And you wipe that insolent look off your face, Latham, or you'll lose all tomorrow's points as well.
Chrissy. We can't even have a decent natter in peace now. So help me, much more of this and I'm going to go potty. Here, hang about. I've just had a thought. Well, this stupid point system they got, why don't we have one of our own?
For the screws, you mean?
Yeah.
How would you work it?
Well, we could start them all off with 500 and then knock points off for every...
misdemeanour.
That's the one.
Hey, yeah. We could run it in competition against themselves.
Yeah.
I like it. We set up our own chart. And God help the loser.
Chrissy. And are you quite satisfied you can help these women?
I can only try. Look, if it's okay by you, Mrs. Davidson, I'd like to see the both of them again tomorrow. And now that I've established contact, I'd like them to feel that a one-to-one relationship is developing. See, what I want to do is to stimulate their own ideas about what they want to do on release.
I'll leave instructions for you to interview them when you come in.
Thanks, Mrs. Davidson. Much obliged. Oh, good afternoon, Miss Ferguson.
I know the sort of one-to-one relationship that Lawson and Latham prefer, and I don't think it's what Simmons has in mind at all. Social worker for scum like that is a waste of the taxpayers' money.
That remains to be seen, Miss Ferguson. Heather, I shall be a little late in tomorrow morning. I'm paying a visit to Driscoll House at the taxpayers' expense.
Good afternoon. My name is Askin. I'm an attorney.
Yes, Mr. Askin. Can I help you with anything?
I detect an American accent there. You are Miss Bryant?
Yes, I'm Judy Bryant.
Excellent. I've been looking forward to meeting you. As you know from our correspondence, Dunlop and Hall are affiliated with Eristoff and Schwartz in New York.
And they're handling my father's will.
Precisely. And I'm happy to tell you the news is all good.
Really?
Yes, the case your family is bringing against the executors of your father's estate goes to court within the next few days. Unless, of course, the parties agree to settle. Now, we've had advice from counsel both here and in America. The will is sound and will undoubtedly be upheld. In our opinion, Miss Bryant, you are about to become a very wealthy lady.
Howdy. Oh, you got any coffee left? I've just had a meeting with the PRG. Makes me feel like I was put through a ringer.
What's the PRG?
Oh, the prison reform group. They're just about the guardian angels for this place.
Don't they like what you're doing here?
No, they like it fine. In fact, they say I'm working miracles. Trouble is they are broke. Flat, stony, motherless broke. And that is all I needed to hear.
Maybe it's exactly what you did need to hear. Makes the money the family's offering mean more.
Yeah, maybe it was all meant to be. I don't know. I really want this place to work so much, but I can't do it without money.
Then take the offer.
Okay.
Terrific. Everyone will be so happy now. Especially when they see you again.
Yeah, I just wish I didn't have the feeling I failed.
You haven't failed. This is just a temporary setback, and we'll fix all that. You know, we really should sign some sort of agreement and have it witnessed.
Well, we can do that in the morning. There's a JP just around the corner. I just don't want any more hassles tonight.
Honey, no hassles. It's just the sooner you sign, the sooner you get the money.
You mean the sooner you get the money?
Oh, yeah, well, we don't need to go through all that again. I just want what's best for you.
Listen, I am not going to change my mind overnight. Let's just do it in the morning, okay?
Whatever you say, Jude.
Remember me in sales, anyway.
No. There you are. What do you reckon then?
Oh, it's a regular work of art, Chrissy.
Yeah. Ain't half bad, is it? Now look, come over here. See, I've got all the names of the screws down there.
Yeah.
Then all these columns, that's for all their points.
Yeah.
And then they've all started with 500.
Oh, guess a look. Oh, I don't reckon it's right to start Fergo off the same as everybody else. I reckon she should have a few extra points so that she won't go bust too quick.
Yeah. Hey, who decides if they lose points or not?
Oh, we do. We make up our own rules, see? Here, I've got a good mind to knock 5 points off Ferguson anyway for making our life a misery.
Right, you lot, line up and be smart about it. Come on, Birdsworth, get the lead out. Who's responsible for this?
We all did it.
Oh, it's just a bit of fun.
Well, if you want to play stupid, childish pranks, you can expect to be treated like children. So much for your points, sister. Now, trying to goad me into taking all your points just so you can make an issue of it was a bad move. If I see any more of it, I'll dock a whole day's quota. Oh, and of course, leaving the recreation room in an untidy state can cost you a lot of points. Clean it up.
Well, it was good for a joke, I suppose, while it lasted.
Yeah, the freak's reaction was very interesting. She took it more like a threat.
That's because she'd have a fair idea of her reward for losing all the points.
You know, there's a chance here for some nice psychological warfare. They could sweat it out wondering what we're going to do to them.
What could we do to them, Bea?
Nothing. The screw's punishment will be in the waiting and not knowing.
I'd much rather rough them up.
Yeah, well, subtlety never was your strong point, was it, Chrissy? No, we'll keep putting the chart up no matter how often they rip it down. And if they dock us points, we'll retaliate by taking points off them. And all the time they'll be wondering what's going to happen to the lucky loser.
Driscoll House.
May I speak to Miss Judy Bryant, please?
Speaking.
Miss Bryant, Askin here.
Askin?
Yes, Dunlop and Hall. We met yesterday afternoon.
Huh?
Yeah, further to our little chat about the will, I thought you might like to know I received a copy of it this morning.
And?
My colleagues were right, Miss Bryant. The will is watertight in your favor. I shall need to see you, of course, to make arrangements for the money to be transferred to you from the States after the court hands down a decision. But that's a mere formality, of course, as I told you.
Uh-huh. And, exactly how much was it again, please, Mr. Askin?
Why, 100,000 US dollars. Miss Bryant, are you there?
Yeah. Hey, you have a copy of that will there?
Yes, that's right.
Would you mind reading it to me, please?
Certainly. Just a moment. Where are we? To my elder daughter, Judy May Bryant, and with it my eternal prayers for her forgiveness, I bequeath the residue of my estate after settlement of all my outstanding debts. After that, he goes on to set down all the terms and conditions that would apply if you were unable or unwilling to accept the bequest. Your sister and her family would...
Did he ask my forgiveness?
Yes, that's what he said.
Oh, God.
Miss Bryant, are you all right?
I'm fine. Would you mind sending me a copy of that will, please, Mr. Askin?
Of course I'll send you a copy.
Thank you.
Judy, don't! Judy! Judy, don't! Judy.
You rotten bitch!
Jesus, you don't know what you're doing!
I know what I'm doing! I'm gonna kill you!
I was only trying to be fair to everybody.
Well, you fair to Pop! All I ever wanted from him was his love!
Oh, sure you did. That's why you broke his heart, you filthy pervert! You think we wanted you back? All we ever wanted was the money. You make me sick every time you look at me! Judy! Stop it!
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again, but that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down, but the sun and rain are prisoners too. When morning comes around, last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone. On the inside, the roses grow. They don't mind the stony ground, but the roses here are prisoners too. When morning comes around.